Hello, this is Larry Lyon, and I'm here to show you a video on my new Lectric Xpedition I got the 1st of May 2024 that I use for a cargo bike and going around town instead of my truck. So let's go through it and I'll tell you a little bit about the things I've done to it. First, let's go up here to the front. And in the very front, you see I have one of the Elite lights, and then I have an Visco camera, kind of like a GoPro but cheaper, and it's plugged into a rechargeable battery that's in the back. I also have the reflector in the front, and that's the very front. Then you also notice that I have like two baskets, one inverted on top of the other. It's my anti-theft device, or at least deterrent, so I can go shopping like at Lowe's, pick something up, then go to Walmart maybe, get something up or calls. And I have a white little plastic container I bought at Walmart. I painted it white so it would be cooler in this 100-degree temperature, plus people couldn't see what's inside of it. I have it strapped down with some bungee cords so it doesn't rattle, and I unlock it. The locket fits pretty tight, which is the way I want it. But you also see how there's Velcro over to the left where the lock attaches to, so it doesn't rattle. Slides up and pushes against it. And so right now I'm just putting the lock back on the top. You can see there's Velcro around the lock. And now I just lift it up and take it off. And then I have access to the bottom rack, which I could also just run without the top. Now on the top, what I have on one end, I have this like angle iron that I had a welding company nearby put on for me, and that's what hooks onto the bottom rack. And these little dividers, 4 of them, and that helps it sit into it so that it can't be moved around. And so it fits very snugly. I have little rubber tubing, actually irrigation tubing, on the bottom rack, on the top and parts of it, so it keeps it from rattling. I put that down on the ground right now, and like I said, I can go like this if I want. I have the container, and if I take the bungee cords off that I bought on Amazon, you can see that this fits perfectly. And once I get it open with one hand, you can see that's where I can put groceries or whatever, my cameras, whatever I want to carry around and keep secure, because I'm a photographer. So if I have camera gear, I can stick it in there, lock it up, or I can just take it out and then just have the basket. And that's basically the front. You see some straps right there on the basket. I'll talk about those a little later. And now let's go to the back of the bike. Here's another Visco. It shoots from the rear, and it has a power cable going up to this solar powered power pack, which is held on by Velcro. I can take it off very easily. It also is held very securely. Yes, it's a solar powered. The white one is for the front and the black one's for the back camera. And then here in a minute we're gonna go back down. I think I shot this. I'm doing okay, and there's my one of my flashing tail lights, another flashing tail light, and another flashing tail light. So make sure people see me. Now in the back I have my 2 kryptonite folding locks. This is a longer one, and it just stores right there. It unlocks, and that's one I use most of the time. And I have to fold it back up and stick it in. Holds it very, very well. And on the other side, I have, you'll see in a minute, I have a much smaller, partly smaller, not I hope much smaller, but a bit smaller kryptonite lock that I can lock them both together and use them if I have to go, really far around a big tree or something, or by itself I'm really close. So now we're going to my back plastic ammo container. And now those aren't really anti-theft, they're more like anti-theft deterrents for honest person. In the back one I keep my toolkit. I also have an extra cable to charge my phone if I need to. A shopping bag, small shopping bag, a first aid kit, And then I have a tube of Loctite in case something comes loose and I want to tighten it up. And then the very bottom I have an extra spare tube. And that's basically my toolkit. And that goes with me, that goes everywhere. That's basically stays just like that. And so then I close it, and like I said, it's not a, someone could steal if they want to, but it's just keep an honest person honest. Now my other one, my bigger ammo box, that's where I lock up like my cameras and my gloves and my lights when I'm going inside. There's my red beret I wear to hide my helmet hair when I go into a store or something. And I also, if you can see here where I'm going to get through waving around, like I said, I can keep my cameras, my gloves, other little items in there. And I also have this little cheap insulated kind of an ice chest thing that if I wanted to, I could put some of those refrigerator cool packs in a soda or two, or maybe a beer or two, for a little short trip. It's not the greatest little refrigerant thing, but hey, it works. Or if I'm going shopping, I pick up something that needs to be refrigerated a little bit, some cottage cheese or something. I can stick it in there and then lock it back up. And I know someone could break in that real easy if they really had to, but it's basically to keep people from just being able to open it up and get into it. Now these are shopping bags. I carry like 3 shopping bags because in Colorado there's no plastic bags. You have to have a shopping bag if you go shopping. And then I have the same type of container in the rear basket. I don't always carry that, but if I'm going shopping, I'll carry it. Or you'll see when I open it, if I'm going to go to a picnic or to an outdoor concert that they have here, free concerts, or actually when I go shopping, I need to keep a lot of stuff cold. Like I put a 10-pound bag of chicken in there the other day. You open it up, oh, there's a cooler I also got from Walmart. It fits perfectly in there. And I put that on there because I can't get my finger underneath that lip. And it's perfect size. I can put 4 little 2-quart things of milk in there. And I have one in the freezer filled with water that I'll throw in there sometimes just to keep it cold and have extra water to drink. And now I've got you can see the pannier bags, the water resistant pannier bags. And there's my batteries. And next we've got this little thing, the frame bag that came with it, but it didn't have any locks on it. And I didn't like that. So what I did was I put some key rings through the zipper holes, you can see, and now I can put a lock on it. And again, it's just a slight theft deterrent. Someone really wants it, they just get a razor blade or a knife and cut into that whole bag thing. But inside that bag I have rain pants, I have a tiny poncho, I have upper rain jacket, and also my air pump is in there. So that's where I keep it. An upper shell, that's what the proper language is. It's all in there. And then I have my water holder from Prodecotech Storm 400, my first electric bike I bought about 10 years ago. That doesn't run anymore. And then here's the seat. I've got a seat cushion, and under that seat cushion is another seat cushion. And under that seat cushion is a cushioned seat. I like comfort. And if you go down the bottom, I put a suspension seat in. There's a cable, an anti-theft cable, so people can't just walk off with my seat. But boy, I tell you what, that suspension seat, and there's a shim. I had to get a shim for it to fit. But that suspension seat is worth it. I have a happy butt now. So here's my cockpit. We got a mirror. I'll tell you the brand name later. Handlebar. My brake, of course. And the upper hand grip. So I want to ride with my hands like that to give my wrist a break. And of course, there's my bell. Controller for the Xpedition. Typical electric controller. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm turning it on. And there's my electric phone holder, which is too small. Actually, I had to cut off the corners so I could barely get it in, but it holds it very snugly. And here's two 300 lumen lights, USB charged, that I can just slide right off and slide back on. Like I said, I'll put them in the ammo boxes when I go inside somewhere. And they're pretty darn bright. Now when I'm riding during the day, I point them out to the left and the right so that people off to the side can see me. You can still see me directly in front. And during the day, I turn them and point them straight ahead. At night, I turn them straight, point them straight ahead so I can see at night. In the center is another light and actually it's a bell. That's my on record switch for my cameras. I can remotely turn my cameras on. That's the remote control for my helmet, turn signals, volume controls, emergency blinkers, and if someone calls me, I can push the button at the bottom. I hang my keys on my bike, so I always have them, and I can't. Extra loud bell. Yeah, that gets their attention. Little ding ding bell doesn't. Of course, another handhold, another mirror. And in front, you can see I bought a little handlebar extension for like $4 from Temu. And now when I usually drive during the day, like I said, I'll point those off to the side, put them on flashing. And if I want to, I don't always turn the center light on, but if I'm going to be in the city a lot, I will. In the background, you can see my truck that has 1,000 watts of solar panels, and my camper has 1,000 watts of solar panels, and that's what I use to charge my bike. I have an extension cord running to the garage. But also, as you walk around the bike, you can see the flashing. So that gives me a lot of coverage from people coming on the side, or as I'm coming up to a stop to an intersection. If they're pulling up, they'll see something flashing, hopefully, and realize they need to like be aware. And follow traffic laws and not run over me. And so it's actually a lot brighter in person than what this camera shows. You also you can see my controller screen there. I got that off from Etsy, and I don't know what the hell's going on here, but yeah, it turned around. Oh no, we're crashing. All right. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So anyway, here's my helmet. I've got a camera on it too. It's got its own little battery pack, because those Cascos only run for about an hour, and they'll run out of juice. So everything has its own battery pack, plus its inside battery for backup. And my wife made this for me. I bought this, and this didn't come with a visor, so I put Velcro on the helmet, and she sewed Velcro on that visor. And now I have a visor and a baseball hat to wear to the game, and I don't have to worry about getting hit in the head with a foul ball. That's just some spare string. I'm gonna have to cut that off from thread. But I have Bluetooth.
Smart helmet is connected.
And now I've got music coming through my helmet, but I better turn it off. Usually do Pandora. And then the helmet has flashing rear lights. It flashes just the center or both of them, or just solid. And then I also have light in the front. It flashes or it does solid, it does SOS, depending on which buttons I push. And there's the control for the helmet. And once again, here's my screen. It shows the voltage and how much battery I have left. So right now I have 51.7, so that means I'm at a little over 70%. I need to charge it. I wrote it yesterday, haven't charged it yet. I charge it from my solar that's on my truck and on my camper. And this is my anti-dog deterrent. If a dog comes, because that has happened, I can reach it and grab it, and I don't want to kick a dog. I don't hurt it. I just want it not to bite me, not to hurt me. So I can just grab that, spray it if I need to. That I have had dogs try to get me. And basically that's my bike. Oh, one more thing. Like I said, these little plastic, these zip ties. As I was having just 10 pounds on that frame, as I go bumps, it was bending the basket down. So I got a ratchet thing and I pulled it back up a little bit above level, and I put these zip ties on it. First I only put 2, one on each side, but they broke after about a day or 2, and I only had like 10 or 15 pounds in it. So now I've got 3 on each side, and we'll see how that works. What I think I'm going to do is get like a ratchet strap, but it's one of those ones that has a push button. It's like a tooth thing it catches, doesn't really ratchet. I'll ratchet it up and then put that on there, and then take it off. That way I can just take it on and off as I like. I don't have to cut zip ties. And that's basically it. That's my bike. Y'all be safe out there.